Whoa.
That's how we have something about that.
There you go. I'll do that. Are you ready, good sir?
I'm ready.
Appreciate you today. All right. Ready, y'all?
All right.
This nation's first leader after independence created the ideology called NASACOM, incorporating nationalism, communism, and religion. NASACOM was part of that leader's attempt to bring what he called guided democracy to this nation. On September 30th, 1965, that leader of this country was deposed by a general who established the new order during a period of slaughter in which 500,000 people were killed, as documented in the 2013 film, The Act of Killing. Sukarno was deposed.
Indonesia.
Yes.
I was totally about to say.
This character saves Jim and Scout by killing Bob Weevils in a fight. First, who is this character who leaves gifts like a spelling bee medal and gum in a tree for the Finch children?
Boo Radley.
Boo Radley appears in this
To Kill
novel
a Mockingbird.
and this mother of Zebo in To Kill a Mockingbird is the Finch's housekeeper who Matt was taught to read.
Calpurnia.
Calpurnia. 30 points. Here's toss-up 2. The first member in a class of objects named for this person was discovered by Jaclyn Hewitt and has a radius proportional to 4 GM to the 1/2 power. This man's namesake box, which contains photons.
Schrodinger.
Sorry, no. Which contains photons and a clock, was used in an attempt to violate Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. This man referred to quantum entanglement as a spooky action at a distance, and he called the cosmological constant his greatest blunder. A paper published in 1905 by this man explained Brownian motion, and he won a Nobel Prize for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. 10 points. Name this physicist who also formulated the equation E equals.
Einstein.
Did you see my post the other day? Hey, Schrodinger, I survived. Suck it.
Yeah.
Many families leave windows open during this holiday to allow good fortune to enter for 10 points each. Houses are cleaned and new clothes are purchased and worn during what Hindu festival of lights?
Holy?
Diwali.
Diwali.
This is the goddess of wealth whose goodwill is sought by the lighting of lamps in Diwali.
Kali?
No relation to Padma, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the consort of this preserver god of Hinduism.
Brahma.
Is it?
Brahma.
Brahma.
Vishnu. Padma Lakshmi. Who's she married to?
Lakshmi.
Padma
Isn't
Lakshmi.
she married to Matthew McConaughey? Who? Are you talking about? Padme Lakshmi?
Padma Lakshmi.
Maybe not. If not, she looks a lot like her.
No.
Is that the chick from Star
No.
Wars?
No, she's married to Satanic Versus guy.
Sam
Sam
Rushdie.
Rushdie, yeah.
Look at that.
This Satanic Versus author. No, wait.
Yeah.
Buried my face.
Oh, damn, there it is. All right, toss-up 3. This writer depicted the namesake character's attempt to bite Robert Browning in a fictional biography of Elizabeth Barrett's Cocker Spaniel.
Virginia Woolf.
Really? Yes.
Good job. Nicole Kidman?
He plagiarized a speech on eugenics from a Wikipedia article on Louis Gattaca, and a recent issue of Time magazine declared him the most interesting man in American politics. Each name this politician whose father recently ran for president in 2008 and 2012.
Rand Paul.
Rand Paul is a senator from the state.
Kentucky.
Succeeded this man as U.S. Senator after he decided not to run for re-election in 2010. This man was a Major League Baseball pitcher who once threw a perfect game.
Wow.
Brandon Johnson.
Um,
I don't know.
Hershiser.
Jim Bunning.
Oh.
20 points.
We're starting to get so many of those guys now.
Toss up 4. A song based on a piece from this work is entitled Toot Toot Tootie Toot and is found on the Duke Ellington album. The flute plays ascending 16th note septuplets and trills on a high F note at the beginning of a Chinese-inspired piece from this work. A miniature overture begins this work, which also includes a tree pack and a piece in which the bass clarinet plays descending 16th notes in between 4-bar phrases played by the celesta. The piece is Arabian Dance, Waltz of the Flowers,
Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies?
sorry, and Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies are found in this work. 10 points. Name this suite, named for a Tchaikovsky ballet, often performed around Christmas.
The Nutcracker.
Yeah. Zacharias Jansen is often considered the inventor of this object, and the bending of a cantilever allows a probe to scan an object's surface in the atomic force type. 10 points each. First, name this lab object, often used to produce magnified images of small objects.
Microscope?
The book Micrographia by this man was published in 1665 and demonstrated the power of the microscope. He also built a vacuum pump used by Robert Boyle in experiments. Oh, try Hook. Betsy, Hale, and Murner won the 2014 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their work on this type of microscope, which is named for the phenomenon in which irradiated orbital electrons become excited, emit visible light, then immediately relax.
It's an electron microscope?
Fluorescence. Fluorescence microscope. All right, microscope got them 10. And that takes us to toss up 5. In the Chinese classic Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Guan Yu has a famous one of these called Green Dragon Crescent.
Horse?
What?
Horse?
Whores.
Horse.
Oh, horse. Okay. No. Japanese storm god Susanoo named the one he found in the body of Yamada no Orochi Kusanagi, or grass cutter. Roland used one called,
Sword.
yes,
Durandal.
yes,
I think it was here when I said that.
sword this time.
You're a trash talker, Bobo.
Wait, so stem cell?
Yes,
So back to
I got
Bobo
this.
for you.
if we were doing, and that's the only one I've heard today too.
Oh, what was it you
You
said?
should have heard his.
I don't think it's up.
Did you have a glorious one?
Swanson, and the correct
Ron
answer was?
Swanson, and the correct answer was
It said it was
Poncho
followed by, you know, the.
We
first
also
one.
said Handel's Messiah for Dance Macabre.
I said samurai sword for stem cells.
You got it.
It was some Japanese name. It made sense at the time. Okay, so y'all got sword, and here's your bonus. Shit. This man merged the Carlist party with Jose Primo de Rivera's Falange party. Falange party. 10 points each. Identify this dictator who ruled Spain from 1939 until his incessantly reported death in 1960.
Franco.
Yes. Francisco Franco first rose to prominence while fighting in the Rif Wars against this group of indigenous Moroccan Muslims who had once ruled the Almoravid Empire.
The Boobs. The Moors.
The Berbers.
Oh.
Franco rose to power during the Spanish Civil War thanks to his friendship with Hitler, who sent this unit composed of volunteers from the Luftwaffe that bombed Guernica.
Designate.
Red Army?
Condor Legion.
That's a badass name.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said. All I've ever heard him call is Francisco Franco, and then they've got some Bahamonde down here.
Well, Spanish people often have two surnames.
Yeah,
So-
but I've just never
Yeah.
seen that before for him.
Maybe
And
he-
that's what caught my eye, and I was like,
Maybe that was
what the hell
him.
is
I
that?
don't know, I'm pretty sure he was high when he wrote these, so. It may be wrong.
Usually is.
He does seem to.
Okay, toss up 6. You with me over there?
I'm with you.
All right. Millen's reagent contains this element in nitric acid. In the Frank-Hertz experiment, electrons were sent through a tube filled with this element, which is also found in saturated calomel electrodes. In an anti-stereospecific reaction that follows Markovnikov's rule, a cation of this element and an alkene react, then a reduction occurs that creates an alcohol. Cinnabar is the sulfide.
Mercury.
Yes.
Good job.
There you go.
I was thinking mercury when you said calomel.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
I just heard
confirm that.
chamomile.
David Hume articulated the is-ought problem of this branch of philosophy. First, name this branch of philosophy that attempts to examine morality and determine concepts of right and wrong.
Ethics.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Ethics.
This Dutch philosopher presented arguments in geometrical order in his book, Ethics.
Spinoza.
What he said.
Spinoza, this philosopher, pioneered the field of meta-ethics and examined the open question argument. He also coined the term naturalistic fallacy in his Principia Ethica.
Oh, shit. Averroes, or something like
That, it's all him.
that. Averroes?
G.E. Moore.
Ah, that guy.
Sounds like he like sold washing
We
machines.
taught us that.
That's what, 20?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Toss up 7. Members of this organization shot and killed 10 unarmed protesters during the Little Steel Strike on Memorial Day of 1937. Dan Rather and Mike Wallace were manhandled by members of this organization in 1968 while reporting inside a convention hall. During that event, this organization was accused of precipitating a riot of violence, particularly against members of the Students for a Democratic Society. In a defense of this organization, Richard Daley famously misstated that its members were not meant to create,
Teamsters.
not meant to create disorder, but to preserve disorder. 10 points, 7 members of what municipal security force were killed by a bomb in the Haymarket Square incident in Illinois?
Pinkertons?
No.
Chicago police.
Chicago Police Department.
Damn.
This Southern author described the looming influence of Faulkner by writing that no one wants their mule and wagon stalled on the same tracks as the Dixie Limited is roaring down. In one story, this author depicted a Bible salesman whose valise actually contains whiskey.
Mary O'Connor?
Yes.
Booyah.
She
Some substances that exhibit this phenomenon form an eponymous Rollin film. For 10 points each, name this phenomenon in which a certain type of substance exhibits frictionless flow.
Superfluidity.
Superfluidity was first observed in this element near absolute zero. This lighter-than-air element is made by stars from hydrogen in the CNO cycle into proton-proton chain reaction.
Helium.
Regular helium transitions to superfluid helium below a point named for this letter, which also appears before CDM in the name of the standard model of Big Bang cosmology.
So what's a letter?
What do you think?
The
H.
alpha point?
Lambda point.
Lambda.
So 20 points.
Lambda
Yeah.
And number 9, Molly Lambert of Grantland called it the official theme song of Pumpkin Spice. The Denver Nuggets made a parody of its music video. This song is found in between All You Had to Do Was Stay and I Wish You Would on a recent album.
Shake It Off. By Taylor Swift.
I'm so embarrassed for you. Yes, that's correct.
My first one, the title person.
And
He
it's
got one.
a Taylor Swift song.
I don't care.
Hey, don't
We don't
care.
criticize.
You know 10 points is 10 points.
You know you shake it off.
Also, that's not me bad.
I don't even know what
Right.
shake
You know, it's just like him. The hater's gonna hate.
That's right. And the tater's gonna take.
You lose your man card.
Don't care.
You don't care.
I lost that one I bought 1999.
That's your album.
That's the album song.
What comes after 3? Sorry.
Lots. One character in this work was thrown out of heaven for flirting with the moon, while another character is trapped under a mountain by the Buddha. First, name this book in which Buddhist monk Junzang and the monkey King Sun Wukong travel to Vulture Peak in India to retrieve the scriptures.
Voyage to something. Voyage to the new world?
Voice to the New World?
Journey to the West. This novel, set in the same country as Journey to the West, tells of 108 bandits in their fight against Fang La. Pearl S. Buck was one of the first to translate the book into English. Outlaws of the Marsh, or Water Margin, or All Men Are Brothers. Journey to the West and Outlaws of the Marsh are among the 4 great classical novels of this country. Other novels from this country include Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which describes the end of the Han Dynasty.
China.
Yes.